One.
Earth is the planet we all call home. We love it, we live on it every day. It's always changing, from the weather to the people. And those are pretty good changes for the Earth. But today, I'm not here to talk about the good changes. I'm here to talk about a bad change. And that bad change is something called global warming. Global warming, you might have heard the term before, but do you really know what it is? Well, luckily we are able to look up the term. And with a quick Google research, we can figure out that it's the slight increase in temperature over time of the Earth's surface. And you're like, okay, now we know what it is, but how does it happen? Well, luckily for us, we can also look that up. We can figure out that it is caused by something called greenhouse gases. Greenhouse gases are basically where gases such as carbon go up into the atmosphere, get heated up by the sun, which causes the earth to heat up. And now you're probably thinking to yourself, well, I get greenhouse gases and global warming, but how does that really affect me? And that's why I'm here today. Today, I'm here to talk about what global warming has done to the earth already, what people are doing to cause global warming, and maybe a way that you might be able to stop it. First, I'm going to talk about how the earth is already being affected by global warming. In an article written by Professor Rathburn of the University of California, he says that global warming is right in front of us. We just don't see it where we're at. Now, we might see a slight increase in temperature, maybe 1 or 2 degrees from the year before, but overall there's not really any big changes. But in places like Antarctica, it's been covered by ice for thousands of years, and that ice is melting away within months. Think about that. Ice that has been there for thousands of years is melting away in months due to global warming. Now you're probably thinking, well, that's not really affecting me right now because it's in Antarctica and I don't really live in Antarctica. But if global warming will cause such an increase in temperature in a place that has been covered with ice for thousands of years, what will it do to where we live in the future? Me personally, I really don't want to figure that out, so I'm going to try to stop global warming. Now, I'm going to talk about what humans have done to cause global warming. In an article written by Timothy Minich about how to stop global warming, he says that humans produce about 40 gigatons of carbon emissions a year. Think about that, 40 gigatons. That's a lot. Okay, he also says that 60% of that number is produced by burning of fossil fuels such as gas and oil and stuff like that. So you're probably thinking, well, that's a big number, and how can me as a single person bring down that number? Well, it's kind of, honestly, you by yourself will not be able to bring down that number. But if we work together using some common solutions that I'm about to talk about, we could come together and stop global warming. Some things that we could do collectively as groups: we could take the bus to work or to school instead of driving alone, or we could ride with a friend to work or to school instead of driving alone. Another thing that we can do is we can think locally when shopping for stuff, because you might not know this, but your area that you live in has a big impact on the world. And if you shop at a grocery store that has locally supplied food instead of a grocery store that has shipped stuff from all across the world, that brings down the carbon emissions from the trucks that it takes to bring the food in, and instead it's it's coming from a local place that doesn't produce as much carbon emission. And you're still probably thinking that 40 gigaton, I mean, I could still do those things and that wouldn't touch that. Well, just like every movement ever, it always starts with one person. That one person might affect somebody enough to change their ways. So what I could do will affect what you will do, maybe affect what you will do. It's just starting off making a change. So finally, I'm going to ask you, what will you change to save the earth?